Kevin Brady with us right now. Of course, rings a bell, the House Ways and Means, former chairman of that august committee, responsible for the Trump tax cuts. I know they happened during Donald Trump. They would not have happened, my friends, without this gentleman. He always modestly eschews that when I say that, but it's true. Kevin Brady, good to see you.
Neil, great to see you. Thanks for having me back.
You know, those tax cuts expire next year. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, it is. Look, it's going to be a big moment for the United States. Nearly $4 trillion or more of tax hikes that'll land on families, workers, Main Street businesses, and play a big role on whether America can compete and win against the likes of China and other foreign competitors. So, yeah, there is a lot at stake next year.
You've heard the rap against it, and it was when you first instituted them, that it was a giveaway to the rich. Everyone got those breaks, but the fact of the matter is, because the rich have more, they get more, but you know how that went. How did you deal with that?
Yeah, so that's the narrative. No matter what you do, you're sort of used to that. And most of those have been good news, have been fact check. In fact, the president's claims are now in a new category called zombie claims about the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. But the truth is, and Senator Phil Gramm and Mike Salon noted this in the Wall Street Journal the other day, over the last 50 years, no spending program and no tax policy has driven higher median household income faster or lowered poverty more than the 2017 tax cuts. And that's what we were aiming to do, grow jobs, paychecks in the American economy.
Kevin, do you ever miss it that you maybe left too soon? You would have been easily reelected. And now you got all this, Keystone Cop leadership issues within the Republican Party now. So I don't mean to besmirch Keystone Cops there. But I am saying that it looks like it's rudderless. And now you have Marjorie Taylor Greene going after Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, maybe calling him up to have him vacate the chair. You see this. And do you ever say, oh, my gosh, this is nuts?
Well, look, it's painful to watch, and mainly because I know there are a lot of good people in Congress who are trying to do the right thing, solve problems, lead in a big way. But as you know, with these thin margins, it doesn't take much to pull that vehicle into the ditch, and that's too often what it appears to be. But I'll tell you what, they have good leaders. There's a middle class in Congress, Neil, that is serious about their jobs, very solid and substantive, and that's who I want to make sure is driving the big issues, especially on tax reform, because as you know, we've got a lot of companies that are wondering, are we going to be able to compete and win around the world as China targets American industry? Are we going to be the first choice for new jobs and investment? And finally, are we going to keep encouraging innovation in research, because the country that wins the innovation race really wins the future? That's why I'm working with the ACT, the Alliance for Competitive Taxation, to bring these goals. I think both parties agree on those types of goals, bring them policy ideas for 2025.
We're up a few $1 trillion in debt since you left your august seat. We got to do something with entitlements. You were one of the early ones to say it has to be part of the discussion. It isn't. Does that worry you?
It does, and there's no question we were just outspending, despite in some cases record revenues. For example, we are generating as a government more from corporations at 21% than we did at 35% because of all that growth. But if spending exceeds that, you're always digging a deeper hole. So at the end of the day, you've got to have growth. That is a budget issue as well as an economic issue, and you have to have guardrails. And part of those guardrails are putting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, those really important programs, put them on a sustainable path.
Got it. Kevin Brady, wish I could spend even more time with you. Very good seeing you again, and thank you for this service to this country.
Good to see you.